Welcome to the Blunt Lab. This is Marcus. I'm Al. We are welcoming our brother Rick. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
Chilling.
Got out from the dirty South.
Yeah. Well, the both of you are in Florida. I'm the one who left.
Well,
Hey, fellas, I'm super excited. The NFL season is upon us.
yeah, man.
We got several things going. We got Marcus joining us for fantasy football.
Rookie.
First time playing. Yeah. I'm excited though.
Absolutely. So we're doing that tomorrow afternoon, right, Rick?
Oh, yeah, 5 o'clock. Be ready to go. Be there, be square, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
So I want to ask you, Rick, as a Dolphin fan, are you excited about having Aaron Rodgers in your division?
Listen, I'm not taking anything away from Mr. Rodgers himself, but I'm not too worried about him in the Jets. I'm going to put it to you like that.
Oh, shit.
Hey, listen, all I'm really worried about is the Tua knows how to hit the ground. Everything else is there.
Yes.
No,
everything is in place.
Wow.
I know McDaniel's going to make the adjustments to the playbook so that they don't get caught off guard with everybody knowing what they're going to do from last year. But Tua's a demon.
Oh, okay.
He's a beast in the traditional sense. He knows how to go out and win football. And if you take away his couple of injury games last year, he was pretty much undefeated. 2 games he went out in early, right off the top of my head. The 2 games he went out in early were the only games he really lost. Everything else he won. And you got Tyreek.
Yeah.
Got the Penguin man, Mr. Waddle. And there's a couple other little tricks coming up on the defensive side that, unless you paid attention to training camp at all, the Dolphins, you probably don't even know what's about to happen on the defensive side. So I'm definitely excited about the Dolphins.
No, that's good.
But Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, that's not going to be a
I'm excited for the
problem
Dolphins too. You don't see him taking the Jets to the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, not this year. I think they will do better than they've done the last 5 years and longer. Aaron definitely knows how to go and win games. It's arguable about what he does in high pressure situations at the end of the season. It's gonna become key for him. And it looks, from the film I've seen, it looks like he's making a good chemistry and connection with the guys that he's out there with right now. So I'm a Dolphin fan at heart. You know what I mean? Everybody else is the enemy, but especially in my 10 years, that's my 10th year of fantasy. We're really being into fantasy, and it's made me a football fan again. That's what I like about fantasy. I spent all those years being a Dolphin fan, not interested in football because they suck. Let's just keep it real, right? So it makes you less interested in football.
Oh, we're Giants fans. We know.
Yeah, but to start playing fantasy, you pay attention to all the teams. You want to see all the teams do good. You know what I mean? I literally watched Dolphin games. Like, look, last year, you know, Al, you've been in the league for a minute. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs were my racehorses last year. Those were my workload. And they're a Buffalo Bills combination. So, like I said, I don't care.
Yes.
Run this car up and lose. You know what I mean? That's what I love about fantasy. Makes football funny. It makes you want the NFL ticket.
Dude,
you know what I mean? It helps the NFL out a lot, too.
Dude, I think it was my first year. Jamar Chase was my racehorse. That had me watching Cincy games, getting down with Joe Busy. I was like,
so
what I enjoy the most about fantasy, because most folks are like, it takes away from, enjoying the game. I personally don't feel that way. I feel it makes me enjoy the game more, and it makes me pay attention to other players outside of the guys that I'm a fan of on the Giants squad. Joe Busy?
That's fair.
I look at it this way. Hey, I don't know if I was talking to Marcus about this, but have you watched Quarterback on Netflix, Rick?
I haven't, but that doesn't mean I haven't seen enough. I've seen a lot of clips from it.
I'm the only one that's watched it, and I was telling Marcus because Marcus straight up. I told him who the quarterbacks were, which is Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota. Now, watching this show, it gives you a close view from each guy's perspective as I think it's last season was going on. And dude, I became a much bigger Kirk Cousins fan watching this show than I've never hated the dude. You know, the dude goes there, plays ball, does what he have to do. I was telling Marcus, I'm like, you know, he's not a bum. You know, he's not a bum.
He's average. He's an average quarterback. He might be slightly above average. No, think about it though, because we're talking like there's the top end guys,
which is Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes or like Herbert, if you want to put him there, Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Tua could be in that conversation. Joe Burrow. Then you got the mediocre guys, like Daniel Jones is like average, maybe above average here and there, but you know what I mean. So Kirk Cousins, he's like the top end of the average quarterback.
Kirk Cousins.
I will say this: what Minnesota did last year. He's not going to win every game.
He's not Tom Brady, but he wins games.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he gets wins. He puts up numbers too.
And this show showed me how much Kirk Cousins doesn't have an offensive line blocking for him. And every time, he was the most hit quarterback in the league last year.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And every time this dude hit the turf, none of those offensive linemen helped him up. But every time Patrick Mahomes hit the turf, I mean, dude, you had 2-3 niggas coming to help him up.
Still holding it, waiting for a chance, fires it late, caught in the end zone!
All right, baby, that's a touchdown. That's what I'm talking about, Pat.
Oh, yeah.
That's with the quickness. And I'm like, hey, you know, Kirk Cousins is such a nice dude. And I'm like, why the fuck does the offensive line hate him so much? Because you can't be the most hit, the most hit quarterback in the league and think that your offensive linemen like you. Because if you're getting hit, I got to believe that they don't like you. And if they're not helping you up, they definitely don't like you. Because if you guys watch the show, if you get a chance to watch the show, you'll see the difference, the big difference between Mahomes and Kirk Cousins. Anytime Mahomes hits the ground, I mean, shit. Some of the coaches want to run off from the sidelines to help his ass up. But Kirk Cousins, man, ain't nobody helping that motherfucker.
It's a communication thing, I think. I think that's the communication thing. I'm definitely going to give the show a stronger look. Like I say, I'm kicking into football gear right now. You know what I mean? I come out of concert season and kick into football gear. But I think with Kirk Cousins, my experience with the Kirk Cousins thing is it's a communication thing. He doesn't know how to communicate good. Like these guys that have walked away from that situation in Minnesota, especially, that really thought they had a chance to win more. They won, but not as much as they could have, and a lot of it they said was because he doesn't make the connection. And that's the difference with your comparison. Patrick Mahomes. He becomes best friends with everybody on the team. He doesn't do this on me, y'all do you. And basketball is starting to get a lot like that too. I've noticed the NBA players are starting to get like that too. They come to practice and go and do their whole life, and they never communicate with each other. And those are the teams that don't win. And the guy gets beat up on the floor, like you're talking about with poor Kirk. Oh man, yeah, you got you know.
Oh, dude, I felt
your line has to love you.
Yes, and if they don't, you're just gonna get smacked around just like Kirk. You know, I felt bad for him because he was hurt going into a lot of those games, especially his ribs. And dudes were just laying into him. And I'm just like, and I mean, you hear him, he's like, he's just feeling it, bro. And then now I understand with a show like this, you can't have just all-star quarterbacks on the show. So you have your Patrick Mahomes, you have your first tier, second tier, and Marcus Mariota is definitely third tier. I hate to say it, but he's a nice guy, but he's definitely third tier as far as, you know.
What team is he on right?
Right now, he's backing up homeboy in Philly.
Oh, he's on the Eagles.
Yeah, they're the only ones that wanted to scoop. I mean, the dude quit.
That's smart though, man. He kind of fits their system, you know. Oh. If Jalen has to step down for a second,
that's a good way to get a ring.
What was that, Rick?
Yeah.
I mean, true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to get playing time as long as Jalen's healthy. And if he does get playing time, there's one thing you can be certain of: he's going to make mistakes.
Oh yeah,
and those mistakes they're going to cost.
Yeah. That's
he quit.
Unfortunate truth.
He literally quit Atlanta because they started the rookie. Like, dude, you were fucking up. Why wouldn't they start their rookie just to see what they can get out of him? Since you can't do right.
So
he wasn't consistent coming out of college.
Nah.
He wasn't.
All that hype.
He's athletic though. He's very athletic.
He's super athletic.
He can move.
Yes.
But as far as throwing the ball now,
no. Sir,
even in college, it wasn't
decision making.
Yeah, decision making.
Yeah, that's what it always boils down to. He's always got it made up in his mind what his target's going to be, and you have to realize, especially on the professional level, and this was a big mistake that high-end college quarterbacks make often. They come to the league, they're used to playing against teams that don't have a fucking chance. So it's really on them to mess up. Like they're going out there, if they mess up, it's on them. It's a simple system. Then they get to the league, and any team can beat your ass any given Sunday. And so as soon as they do, Mariota's a perfect example. A and B target are not who you're throwing to 90% of the time in this league. It's for how the play develops.
Yep.
How the defense reads you. And he can't make quick decisions. He's not fast enough. He can't pop like a Brady or a Favre or someone with a decision making. I don't care if you are a Joe Brewer, a Josh Allen, a Joe Burrow, where you put up a lot of turnovers if your decision making pays off most of the time. It's all right to have a pick or two and a couple of fumbles if you scored 56 points. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't really bother me if turnovers are high if you're winning games.
Exactly.
And when you see him on this show,
there's a different kind of turnover.
Oh yes,
like, there's some turnovers that are just ridiculous. Then there's some that's like, I'm trying to make a play.
That's the worst. When you throw the ball, somebody doesn't catch it, and it hits their hands, and the other person catches it, that would burn me up a lot. Like in high school, that burned me up a lot. Like, catch the fucking ball, because I was a quarterback. So, when it went through their hands, I was mad. That was usually the only thing I ever got mad about was yelling about.
John Madden had a saying, if you were able to touch it, you should have been able to catch it.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I ever touched your hand?
Hey, look,
if you touched your hand, it's your fault.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Mariota, you'll see on this show some of the mistakes he made during the season. And you're like, damn, dude, Forrest Gump wouldn't have made those decisions.
This is a ride fake. Marcus wanted to keep this ball, and Algier clamped down on the ball as he tried to pull it out.
Like, damn, dog. Like,
Forrest Gump was an All-American. If I'm not mistaken.
But hey,
Forrest Gump was
nice. But with Forrest Gump, you had to hand him the ball and tell him what to do. He wasn't out there making decisions. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the Forrest Gump.
Like, damn.
That is true.
Where did Marcus go to school?
Like, damn, dude.
Where did Marcus go to college?
Oregon.
Oregon?
Was it Oregon?
Was it Oregon? Yeah. Didn't he win a Heisman, or he was like runner-up for a Heisman?
I think he was the Heisman winner.
He was one of those first, and I'm going to pull it up. He was one of those first draft classes that had like 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the first round in a long time. Like, up until that point, like, you might get a quarterback in the first round, but not really. It was 3 of them all at the same time. I'm going to pull it up.
Hell yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, Rick. That's what I'm talking about.
Came out with Jameis, I think.
Was it? He came out with Jameis Winston? Now, hey, did Jameis Winston steal crabs in college?
I didn't want to say it until I saw it.
Did he steal crab legs? I'm pretty sure.
I said, did he steal crabs before the NFL or when he was in the NFL?
Nah, that was when he was in college. Florida State, and he jumped on that table and was talking about fucker in the pussy.
He said he's getting a lot of snaps. He's been getting a lot of snaps in training camp.
Oh, has he? Over Garoppolo? That's surprising. Because Garoppolo's a Saint, ain't he?
What? No, Derek Carr is the same.
And
Derek
Tanner
Carr is
McNee.
Garoppolo's
Tanner
in
McNee, I think.
Vegas.
I didn't know Garoppolo was there.
I thought Garoppolo was in Vegas.
Is he with Vegas?
Yeah, I thought he went to Vegas.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, in Vegas they're like tanking too. I don't know. No, they gave Josh Jacobs his money. I mean, they gave him that contract that 1 year.
Josh said he was going to return to camp now too. There's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? I don't want to get too far off topic, but I've something about holding out and not going to camp and this and that and the third. How does it? I know, Marcus, this is your first year in fantasy draft, and I think the reason I'm noticing it more over the last couple of years is because I do fantasy draft. Is do I put somebody in a high spot in my priority list if they're not planning on going out and busting their ass every week? You know what I mean? Like if they're just there to get out of there. I understand wanting to go to a contender. I understand if you're not getting paid right, but play until that's down. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you should still be playing for your job. So I think there's like starting to get a level of I guess it was our age group. It was cute when you have a guy pop up every now and then and be real strong armish about doing it. But now it's like every team's got a guy or two who's like, oh, get rid of me or I'm going to not really want to be here. So it affects how I want to draft it. And I'm really noticing that. So I'm wondering how you're feeling about that too.
I'm in agreement with you on that. Like, play. The money's going to work itself out.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, you can still move on afterwards.
That's true.
That's true. I mean,
the players don't have a lot of leverage. When it comes to those situations, the players don't have a lot of leverage.
Yeah, they don't.
For the most part.
They don't.
So it's like you could sit out. Look what happened with Le'Veon Bell. That didn't work out now.
The top 1%, maybe. But
and the quarterback, and it's usually just running backs. Because like every other position seems to be getting paid right now.
Well, the running.
But right now,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother. You got it.
All I was going to say is the running back position has completely changed its identity in the league, and they don't last either. You know what I mean? It's a very injury-prone position in a league that has gotten very, very soft. So you can still beat up the running back. Like the running back still gets destroyed, and even the best. There's only a few out there that had longevity being really, really good. Your Barry Sanders, your Emmitt Smith. There's a couple of them. I can name 15 more that had they made it more than 3 or 4 years without getting a bad injury, even if they came back, they weren't really the same. You know what I mean? Like they only get a couple of years out of them.
Marcus Allen was one of those. I don't know if anybody remembers him.
Marcus Allen. Shoot, the list could go on with them. But another part of it is the leagues. It's kind of like how the basketball league has changed to a shooting league, right? With explosiveness when it's needed. And with NFL, it's become a run and gun across the board. It used to only be a couple of teams that were just doing a West Coast style or a gun style. And now, like, it not only is it the way that they have to score because it's high scoring, it's also what excites the fans. You know what I mean? That's what the fans want to see. They want to see down the field, big runs after the catch. They want to see one-on-one situations and 2-on-1 situations where a badass receiver beats two DBs and things like that. And I like that. But the running, that's what the sacrifice has been, the running back. Just like our fantasy league. Marcus, you're about to find out. When I was growing up and then when I first got into the league, especially before things like apps, where it does the calculating for us and it figures our points and we can get a little more. We can do a lot of things. We can have a lot of scoring and we can have more players and we can do a lot more things because of the app. It used to be boring as hell. The running back and the kicker scored all the points. Now the running back, they're not really in a PPR league, the running back is really not that important. They're not consistent. Most teams, ones with a superstar running back, most teams give up a lot of snaps to other guys just because they got to rest this guy or they need a good blocker in there.
Yeah.
And not all good runners are good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the running back position is, and honestly, the better teams do have a double running back attack. As we're like, See, like Miami, we got like 4 or 5 running backs right now that are actually really, really good. So I think what a lot of the teams don't realize is if you're not covering the run from the quarterback, right? The running back can run all day, or the other way around. Sorry, the running back can't run at all. They got to stay back there and be ready to get past to. So I guess what I'm getting at is the build of a marquee running back. You have to give more player points, if you will, towards blocking and really just helping out the quarterback, not just blocking. You kind of have to be like QB2 on the field. So you have to kind of like spy the defense and help him stay open long enough to get the receiver open. So that is not a high-paying position because it doesn't put fans in the field buying your jersey. And that's why teams don't want to pay the running back. They don't want to pay the running back.
The guys getting the money now, the quarterbacks, the tight ends, and the wide receivers.
Oh, yeah. There. Offensive linemen, too.
Hard to get them.
Guys like left tackles.
Hard to get them for everybody. So that's because, boys aren't just growing up wanting to play football. Now they got to be the star. Who wants to be a lineman?
So let me ask you this, Rick.
Facts.
In the AFC, what do you think your Dolphins' chances are against Kansas City this year? You guys think? You think? In your personal opinion, we're going to be fans.
Okay, I will take. I'll give you both perspectives at the same time. So, from an overall football, both fan and I'm a pretend owner too. So let's just call it what it is. When I have to look at it from the business aspect, the only honestly, straight up, I give them a 99% chance of winning the division and going to the AFC Championship. The reason I have to lower that 99 down to, let's say, about 79% chance is because can they keep Tua on the field? If Tua stays on the field, we don't lose more than 3 or 4 games this season. And we've already shown you that toe-to-toe against Josh, we'll beat Buffalo. And, we can beat Buffalo any given Sunday. We don't know what to expect from this Jets team.
Yeah.
But we know what to expect from us. So as a fan, I truly feel we can do it. As being a realist about it, we got to keep Tua healthy. He can't also because something I kind of saw in some of the videos I watched is you know how it is. It's kind of like when you go from like when I saw when I played middle school age football in the 2 leagues I played in, you see a lot of cats who are really good, but then they go to high school and they get hit real hard and they don't play football anymore. And he's playing a little tentative. You can tell he's thinking about how to hit the ground when he gets hit, which is going to take you away from what he did good, which was finding the right target and getting that quick release that he had. And being a lefty. And, there's not a lot of lefties that you enjoy to watch. It's been a minute. I like watching Brett. And there's
not a lot of lefties in history.
Yeah.
There's only like a handful of lefty quarterbacks in history.
Absolutely.
It's a short list.
It's a very short list. Because it's, the whole offensive scheme for many, many years was all based on like a 3-2-3 system or, simple nickels and simple dimes and things. So it's all to the right. Left is your trick side or your fullback side. You know what I mean? Or your off pitch.
And if I heard correctly, I believe Tua was offered instead of Marcus Mariota a spot on the show, but he refused because he didn't want them getting into his personal life. And then also he was taking martial arts just to learn how to fall properly to help himself.
Bro, hey, I'll say this, man. If Tua's healthy, I feel like the Dolphins could win the Super Bowl. That's like
whoa.
Being objective.
First off,
no, I'm saying just being objective. As a Giants fan, obviously I want us to do it.
The Dolphins aren't beating the Giants in the Super Bowl. Let's just
but look at what the Dolphins have. Like, they are loaded everywhere.
Oh, dude.
Like, they have everything you need to compete. You got a coach that can coach. You got a quarterback that has superstar ability.
A beast wide receiver.
Weapons. Yeah, you got weapons all over the field. The defense is solid. Jalen Ramsey and Howard. Like, come on.
Isn't Jalen Ramsey hurt?
You can't throw on them.
The biggest thing again.
Hey, even if Jalen Ramsey's hurt, he'll be back.
The only team that truly scares me, and this is not just as a fan talking, this is legitimate, is Patrick, and it's because he knows how to win games. You know what I mean? Like he can beat any given team, any given day, even the ones better than him on most days. Like it's gonna. He's a LeBron, a Michael, a Tom Brady. You know what I mean? He's one of those ones who knows how to win. He's done it enough and not lost that much. So, and even when he's lost, he's learned a lot from it. You always see how he bounces back when he loses, even a regular season. And again, it hasn't been that many. That boils down to one big thing I'm about to say, and this is what made Brady what he is: confident. That boy is confident, and the league is confident in him being confident. So they have to account for it when they go out there on the field and try to beat him, which is, you know what I mean? They know, and that's the same way Brady.
His teammates,
because you get scared.
And his teammates absolutely love him. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets busy, man. You got a shot. If Patrick Mahomes is back there, you got a shot, man. You got a shot in any game. You got a really good chance to win.
He keeps playing like
most teams can't say
stays healthy. You know, he'll do everything Brady did and maybe more.
Yeah. The guy goes out of his way to physically stay healthy. He does. You know, he saw how Tom Brady did it. He's taking those same steps. Even Kirk Cousins. You realize after a while, he's like, "Hey, man, I know you laughing. Marcus straight up called Kirk Cousins a bum. All right,
I don't mean he's a bum. I'm just saying he's average, bro. You got me messed up with the Kirk Cousins stuff, man. I'm sorry.
But I swear, man, this show.
Oh, it's already.
Even my wife became a Kirk Cousins fan.
Hey, Kirk's cool, man. I mean, Minnesota should win the division, right? Like Riders is gone. Green Bay.
That's a testament.
Chicago might be all right. Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's gonna be good too. I forgot about it.
Detroit's always good on paper, man.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They are always solid on paper.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do much this year. I don't think Detroit's gonna do shit this year. I don't think they're gonna do shit.
I don't think so either. But I don't know.
So now, Rick, I know you're a Dolphins fan, but I need to know, how do you think our New York Football Giants are going to do this year?
Looked good in preseason. What I saw, I did keep an extra eye. I actually, ever since I don't know what year that was, brother. It was probably 2008 or so when y'all won that championship. And you and I were working together at the time, so I was cheering along with you for the Giants at that time. And so I was since then. I've always kind of kept my eye on them for an NFTT because I always like the Niners, you know what I mean? So the Niners and the Giants have kind of become NFTT.
Yeah. Dude, the Niners, Brock Purdy getting hurt was a very, very big deal last year. You know,
hey, you see, they just sent
there's a possibility.
Yeah,
they said traded Dallas.
That's crazy. Trey Lance.
Brock Purdy got traded to Dallas?
No, Trey Lance got traded to Dallas. I told you.
My bad.
That's crazy. They gave up on that, man. 2-3 seasons? They gave up on. They traded 3 firsts for him, bro, and they gave up.
Yeah,
how long?
Brock Purdy played okay. Brock Purdy played cool. He didn't kill anything. He was good for a rookie for the last pick in the draft. He played great. Good for him. You drafted Trey Lance to be better than good. You drafted him to take you over the top, and then you give up on him that quickly. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Hey, it benefited Miami. It benefited the Dolphins.
We got some good ones out of that. Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. For every
week. Man.
Somebody won from it.
So Trey Lance will jump around. I have a feeling Trey Lance will be another. It's going to be very inconsistent. That's what'll happen with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because dude, now
like you said, Rick, confidence is key, man. I think his confidence is shot.
Pretty much.
I think it's shot.
If you're if they gave up on you like that,
There was a reason.
When you watch Marcus Mariota has no confidence at all. None. He tries to, show that he has confidence, but let me tell you, man, you can tell. And that's why he makes those mistakes. Dude.
He knows how to play the part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sad, man.
Yeah. Now you're gonna change offense. Now you gotta learn a whole new offense. You know, like, dude, yeah, I don't really see that working out. I mean, you know, hopefully it does.
He's in a good spot though. Right? He's in a perfect spot for him and his skill set.
Yeah. Because how long did Dallas give Tony Romo?
How long did they give what?
Tony Romo.
Oh man, stop.
Well,
Please, bro. Jerry was all in on that man for like 12, 15 years, buddy. At least 12 years.
So I'm thinking they learned their lesson.
Well,
they weren't going to go that long with Dak.
Shit, they just sent an extension, got rid of Zeke, and no, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
cleaning house.
Isn't this a contract year for Dak? Yeah, I thought the extension he signed was like a 3. I thought this was the last year.
I thought he just signed one that was off.
I mean, I don't know. Would you want to? Oh, okay. Would you want to pay Dak $50 million a year?
No.
I mean,
that's why I thought it was odd that they took Trey for his backup because, you know, Trey could start in some places. Yeah, let me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going to start. He's going to start, Rick. He's going to start in Dallas.
Is Cooper Rush still there?
I don't know.
Coop played good for them when Dak was hurt.
Yeah, but
Coop played better. Bro, I was more afraid of Cooper Rush. He gonna play within the system. Dak gonna throw you at least 2 or 3. Whether you catch him or not, that's on you. But he gonna throw them to you. Kind of like, what's his name? Brett Favre was like that. But he gonna give you a chance to get some interceptions.
True.
Whether you get him or not, that's on you.
But who's that rookie? Who's that rookie running back that Dallas just picked up? What's his name?
Oh, Deuce Vaughn?
Is that his name, Deuce Vaughn?
I think it's Deuce Vaughn. He's a little short guy. Yeah. There's nobody on Dallas that I want to see do well, except Michael Parsons. I rock with Michael Parsons. I want to see, and Diggs. I want to see those two do well. That's it. The rest of the Cowboys can go to hell.
Yeah, he gave him another $350 million, I think, if I remember.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he gave him $350 during the summer. Yeah, he signed a 2-year deal in 21 for $160,000 with like 47. Remember, he made a big deal about wanting $50 million guaranteed, and they gave him like 47 the first year and then 3 last year or some shit. But then this offseason, they gave him another like 350 for 4 years or something like that. No,
wow.
Jerry's like that though.
Wow.
He wants to win. I'm not taking that away, but it's just as important to look. You know what I mean? He wants to sell tickets.
Yeah.
He wants to sell jerseys. He wants to have the biggest movie.
And he wants credit.
He wants every house in fucking Texas with a Dallas Cowboys sticker on the mailbox or the door. He's that guy. You know what I mean? And I'm taking away from that.
I hear that.
The big way to do that is you got to keep guys there. You got to get people liking him and invested in, they say.
Yeah.
And Dak's a likable guy. You know what I mean? Like, for the biggest part, like, is he the best quarterback consistent? He scores a lot of fantasy points every year. They do a lot of losing by a couple of points in big games. And I imagine if he actually ever does get to the Super Bowl, he's probably not going to win the first 2 that he goes to, because he's another one that gets the nerves get to him. He doesn't even get to the big choke situation because he chokes right before. You know what I mean? But he does go out on the field and play ball for you. He's a nice guy. His guys around him have always liked him. Not too many people have ever complained about him from the locker room, from what I know of. And the fans over there, Dallas fans love him. If you talk to a Cowboys fan, they like that. You don't hear too many complain about him. But if he wins a lot of Super Bowls,
which is surprising.
You know what I mean? That's that LeBron syndrome. He gets a lot of hate, you know, because he hasn't, because of the Super Bowls. I mean, the finals he's lost. You know what I mean? And so I think Dak, he's in a good position because he doesn't really get into that. It breaks their heart. He doesn't get him fired up in.
That's a fair point. That is a very fair point, because if they get to the Super Bowl, they're definitely gonna lose.
Oh yeah.
And that would make Cowboys fans irate. Like, they wouldn't lose their minds. We finally got here and we lose.
For sure. And he's kind of there with that Kirk Cousins, you know, position that you put out there is bad decision making. Dak makes bad decisions in the intense moments. You know what I mean? Starts making, like, what happened, bro? Like, you just played 3 quarters of just beautiful, beautiful football. A couple of mistakes weren't even yours. And then the 4th quarter, what happened? You know what I mean? He blows big point lead, but not scoring in the 4th. I mean, like, I don't have the stats in front of me or anything like that. I don't have the laptop up, but yeah, he's probably pretty high up in there when it comes to like leaders and guys that blow it in the fourth quarter, and it's kind of on you not to defend.
Oh, I most certainly wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, he led the league in interceptions last year, and he missed like 5 games.
Yeah, he was out for 4 or 5.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. How did he do that? He gonna give you a shot though. He gonna give you a chance.
No, he will. He will.
But, like he gonna, you know what I'm saying? He gonna give you a chance to intercept him. But like Rick said, man, he goes out there. He does work. You know, he's talented, and he's a nice guy. I mean, this is kind of what Jerry does though. He did the same thing with Romo. Paid him just to keep him.
It's all right. You don't gotta win this.
And like I think he wants to win, but like Rick said, he wants everything that comes with the winning. And he wants credit, like to where like I built this, I did this. Like he pushed
Jimmy Johnson.
What's his name? Jimmy Johnson out because Jimmy was getting too much credit. So
as he should have, because those were Jimmy's teams. And when Barry Switzer came in, he won with Jimmy's team.
Yeah, and they haven't been back since.
Absolutely
haven't
not.
Been close.
Nope.
Because Jimmy was out partying with them boys. You know that, right? Like I wish they'd stop Hard Knock shows and whatnot. Like, you know, there's so much more shit going on that you don't hear about. So those guys are way out the league. They'll start doing their little interviews and they'll talk about all the shit that happened on the road and blah, 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 blah. But I can't wait now that we're into the time of life where everybody's got cameras all the time. Because, you know, these guys aren't going to come out with this shit while they're still in the league because they'll get in trouble. But, oh, man, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we're going to see some good shit.
Oh, yes. You know Jimmy Johnson was on that cruise with them boys sniffing a ton of cocaine.
Jimmy loved hookers.
For sure.
Jimmy loved hookers and blow, bro.
Yeah. Yes, he did. Hey, you know what? As long as we were winning games, you go ahead and you sniff that cocaine, bro.
That started in Miami.
Listen,
that shit
different
for
times.
him is the Hurricanes. He was down south, man.
And Lawrence Taylor played some of his best games on cocaine.
His sights, he's gonna get him.
The last defensive football player to win the Most Valuable Player award.
Yeah, he said he was always suited.
All right. Now,
listen, man.
Look, I'm not advocating cocaine. I'm just saying that's what these guys did. That's what these guys did in the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
cocaine is bad.
I'm a long time opponent with there. Just because they don't tell you, it takes something extra to be extra, and in a lot of situations, chemicals become that extra. Whether it's steroids, steroids or performance enhancing kind of things, but also mood enhancements and changers. You know, I'm sure porn stars take Viagra. You know what I mean? Like there's a way to enhance your game chemically. Almost anything.
Yep.
Let's keep it real. Krakens are great. So.
That's facts. Yeah, that's facts, man. You gotta get to that next level, man. I need that extra little push. Cool.
So this fantasy draft tomorrow. This is going to be Marcus. This is Marcus's first. This is going to be my third, right, Rick? This is my third.
I think this is your third or fourth year now, right? At least.
Yeah. So
the
first and foremost,
representing the war dog.
Yes,
sir. Let me
sir.
ask one question: has there been a rookie that won
all the time
their first year?
That's what I was talking about in that. When I first started talking to you about coming into the league, bro. Rookies win all the time, and it's because you don't overthink it like we do. You haven't seen the shit that can happen, and we sometimes are really bad about trying to over account for it. A couple of things that'll probably help us out this year, Al, that you'll notice is us having a 4 max quarterback on the bench. I think a lot of
we can have 4.
Now you can have up to 4. Remember, it was 3 max before, and that caused issues, man, for pretty much all of us at one point or another. So now we can have a max of 4 drafted quarterbacks on our team, whether they're drafted or you pick them up in the season. But the number of us had weeks where we could only start 1 quarterback because of that thing. The other is there's 2 more bench players in general that you can have. Meaning, so we have a couple of more guys that you got out there for the trade up. That should kind of relieve some of the stress that came along with some of the things we dealt with the last few years on this PPR league. I love the PPR league. I love 2 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers. it's so much more scoring.
Yes.
So much.
Yes. So Marcus, my advice to you is.
I know Al used to play spades. Marcus,
What's
you
that?
know spades, right?
Yeah.
It's like the difference between playing with all the trumps. Like now we play with the trump. It's like that. That's the difference. That's a way to look at it. It's more scoring. It's more fun.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, by the way,
Yes, sir.
hopefully you guys don't make fun of me. I don't know how to play spades.
You don't know how to play spades?
That's crazy.
I'm a blackjack kind of a fella.
Hey, blackjack's fun for us to go play together and beat up on a dealer. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, buddy. Hell
everybody.
Yeah. But so Marcus
is different, man. Let me some spades.
Spades a little different.
My advice to you is to overthink everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Overthink who you're drafting. Overthink everything. Just overthink.
Don't
everything.
trust your gut. If you're
up in the middle of the night thinking those.
Yeah. don't trust your intuition or your gut. It just that's just my opinion. But
if the app is directing you to go in a direction, you just take that direction. The app won't steer you wrong.
Believe the app. It's projected score to right every single time. They know exactly who's going to win.
Yeah.
It'll never do you wrong, buddy.
Yeah, we do a snake draft. Marcus, I'm sure you played like video games and stuff where you did like fantasy style of drafting, right? So you get the concept. All right, cool.
It's gonna be. It's fun. I enjoy it. I have a great deal of fun doing it.
Oh yeah. The way the snake draft.
I'm excited, man.
The guys in our league are great. I love the shit talking in the league. It's awesome.
It's the right amount.
Well,
not too much, but there's some there to make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm excited.
I know you'll have fun with this one, little bro. You should have some fun with this one. So now, what do I have to do? Do I know where I'm at in the draft? How do I find that out?
So yeah, a reminder for you and to explain it to Marcus at the same time. An hour before our draft, so we draft at 5. The ESPN app at 4:00 will randomly put us in order. Now, the way the snake draft works, to let you know, Marcus, there's 8 teams, right? There's 8 of them. So it'll randomly put us 1 through 8. So the draft order will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and last year was my first year ever getting the first pick since I started playing fantasy. So I never anticipated ever having it in the first place. As these guys can tell you, I could have got 4th, I could have got 8. I still drafted the same guy at 1 I would have drafted then. I already knew I was going to draft. Right. That said, I like a higher number. Yes, you won't get the top 4 guys, let's say, if you're at like 7 or 8. But 7 or 8 get 2 guys back to back real fast. So you get to grab 2 top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the number 8 pick, number 8, and then essentially the 9th pick, which is also number 8, they're going to get 2 top 10 players off rip. You know what I mean? So usually I'd rather have the higher pick because you're the first turnaround. You know what I mean? And then the one's turn, and you turn.
Yeah.
You know, it's equal, but I feel like now that I kind of seen where everybody's priorities lie, and I get 2 picks, I'm always happy with my 2 picks in a row because I can get a quarterback receiver combination or whatever, whatever I'm looking at the time.
Gotcha. I've been doing some research about, like different fantasies and different things. Like I kind of got an idea how I want to do this. I want to see how it works out. I got an idea. I'm excited.
It's you can't predict. You can't predict what the other 7 dudes are going to want when they're going to get them. Or another thing too, you only have 90 seconds, bro. So when you're on the clock, you only got 90 seconds to pick your guy.
Pressure's on.
It's not so bad in the first 4 or 5 rounds, but after that, then you have to start paying attention to. Okay, I got the obvious ones. Now I have to make sure I fill my roster correctly and pay attention to bye weeks. There's a tip I'm going to give you as a rookie too. Pay attention to bye week. 2 quarterbacks, and you got 2 receivers that are scoring a lot of points, et cetera, and they got bye weeks in the same week. You're going to have to be paying attention to what's available in terms of free agents. Because, every week you got to pay attention to what's on free agents because you might have guys get injured, guys who aren't performing, teams that are just losing their ass, guys who are, like we were talking about in the beginning, that are demanding trades or holding out a little bit or they want to reterm their contract and the teams, telling them to go F themselves so they're not playing to their wholeheartedness or whatever. You get players from down south here who are now playing in shitty-ass places like New York where they got to pay state taxes. And it snows all winter, so they just may get mad and want to come back to the beach. Whatever the case may be, you just want to change the team up during the year. So it makes you pay attention to what's going on during the week with all the teams, not just your team.
Yeah.
And the app is pretty good. Like,
so Rick,
go ahead.
Who are you looking to get? Who are you hoping to get with your first pick?
I thought long and hard about this today. How much do I give away in this conversation tonight? Because, look, I think we all kind of want the same guys. Let's be honest. Right?
Oh, we do. I know we do.
Okay. So that's one.
That makes sense.
Al,
that makes sense.
The year before last, you played when we had a 12-man league. And you see how, like, spread thin. So start thinking in, like, metrics. Look at metrics, all right? There's 32 teams in the league. So you have 32 starting quarterbacks. We have 8 dudes, and we have 2 starting quarterbacks. That's 16 starters that have to perform good for all of us to have 2 good quarterbacks. But they're not all going to play consistent and be winning every week. So you're going to want to cycle around. That shit starts changing when you only got 5 or 6 good receivers performing, or 5 or 6 good running backs, or even better, 2 or 3 tight ends and 2 or 3 defenses. So you basically, like, the important part of the draft really isn't those who you want first. It's not them first couple of rounds. It's some later rounds and how you fill your roster around whichever stars you got to get. So in the 8-man league, the metrics is in our favor to have a lot. We can have a star at everybody can have a star at every position. Now it's who's going to do good. So what I'll say is this year, I'm looking to be a little more Dolphin heavy in my draft. I'll say that than I was last year.
I figured.
I didn't have as big of a Dolphin priority last year. And also I knew Uncle Cliff was going to go after the Dolphins last year. So when him and Lenny did the draft, they went right after Tua. I think it was Q that got Tyreek, but he was his first pick. You know what I mean? And little things like that. Tyreek put up big numbers last year. Travis Kelce put up big numbers. That tight end position is going to be really big. That's huge, man. Who's going to do good at tight end? There's a couple other guys. Yeah. Another one that at quarterback, I think that'll do a lot better projected wise this year. And he did good last year, but he was a little bit inconsistent. When you get a chance to look in the app, Marcus, and Al, I don't know how you depth into it, but when you click on it, the position, so you can see like all the quarterbacks, right? And then when you look at the stat lines over there, switch it to where you can view all of their weeks from last year. Okay? That's where you can really see their fantasy consistency, because there's guys that put up big week, but not every week. And one of those I'll touch on right now is like Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence, he was inconsistent last year, but not really, because those last 2 games, they knew they weren't going, so they didn't really put forth a lot at the end there, where his stats were kind of low, and then in the beginning of the season, when he got fired up for those games, bro, he was scoring a lot of points. So I think Trevor will probably draft a little higher this year. They have some higher expectations for him. And then also, too, this guy out in Green Bay that replacing, Aaron Rodgers, fucking Jordan Love. I think he's going to be an underrated draft guy for a lot of guys in a lot of leagues, because no one knows really what to expect of him. Sure, Green Bay fans are probably going to draft him, but I think he's going to do better than what they're going to give him credit for at the beginning of the season. I think he's going to do better with Green Bay than Aaron probably did overall the last 4 years. Yes, Aaron had a good year the year before last, but overall in the last 4 years, Green Bay kind of stuck it up. And I think Jordan Love is going to change some perspective out there, fresh perspective. And he'll be another. And then, too, there's a couple of teams that don't really have it all together at the quarterback position, but have some chances. Look at Tampa Bay or the Texans or even Tennessee. The guy from Florida, Task, Baker got the starting spot for Tampa, and Task is going to be the backup. Don't be surprised if he is stinking during the first few games if Todd Bowles doesn't put in Task.
Oh, yeah.
Because Task, he's always been I mean, he was even a backup in Florida all the way until his senior season, and only came in because this guy got hurt, and then he damn near got them to a fucking high-end bowl game. He's been in high school, same thing. He was a backup until the end of his junior year. Quarterback goes down, he finishes out the season and comes back senior year, and they went like third in the size of their district in 4 states or whatever their shit was. He's kind of undervalued. From what I saw in training camp, he looked better than Baker, so it doesn't make any sense unless Tampa's just trying to sell seats and jerseys. And then Tennessee, they got Tannehill and this guy. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to make a change real soon with him. If Tennessee doesn't win 4 out of the first 6, look for them to make roster changes before the middle of the season. And the Texans, like the whole Deshaun thing, I think they're probably ready to shake all of that. I don't know. I flipped back. Have you guys talked about this discussion on the show? I can't recall on any of the episodes I've watched you guys talking about it at all. But with Deshaun.
Yeah,
I feel like Houston might have
we touched on it a little bit.
I feel like Houston might have been setting him up a little bit, man. Like he started talking about wanting out of there, and they were like, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the conspiracy of it, but I think Houston's kind of done with that Deshaun thing now that he's kind of gone through the court stuff up there and he's getting ready to come back and play ball. I think Houston's going to look to kind of, obviously they've been in a rebuild, but they might actually try to rebuild now. And I hope they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to see all the teams do good, especially ones that.
You think anybody in our league is going to draft Deshaun?
Oh, yeah. Why not? He's going to score you.
I think he's going to play. I think he's going to ball out this year.
He'll ball out.
Got a year under with that playbook. I think he's going to play good. Bro, before all that stuff happened, like Deshaun was a top 5 quarterback.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was.
And I was I was living there in Clemson during his whole time there in Clemson. Like the entire time I was 20 minutes away from the school was the entire time he was in school. You know what I mean? He's another one of those players that has a lot of charisma. Will he ever bounce back from this scandal? Who knows? I feel like we as a society are we're a lot more forgiving of. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think he forced any of them chicks to do anything that they didn't know that they were getting themselves into long run, big picture. I think there was some whether it was some sort of conspiracy.
Every last one of them settled.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't think, and honestly, it's not as. I don't want to come across as chauvinistic or machoistic, and I know we got to wrap this up, but honestly, I don't think people are going to call the chick a whore because you jerked the man off when you gave him a rub and tug. You know what I mean? Like we as a society don't really frown on that like we used to, so it's not quite as on both sides. Like I don't think it's going to diminish this character for very long, and at the end of the day, how bad is it really hurting the girl? She got the payday, she got to have. You know what I mean? Like, you don't become a masseuse for athletes, superstars, without knowing that kind of stuff is going to happen.
And if you were that tore up about it, you wouldn't have come to those games to watch him play afterwards. So,
and that's just it. They didn't put no effort into looking tore up about it. Like, at least look like it. Get up there.
Exactly.
He made me touch him. I didn't lose my job. It was nothing like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, even if you declined and said something about it later, that's still private shit. You only come out with that pup. Like, if you're like, oh, no, I don't do that. It's not my thing. And then you go, oh, I'm not going to rub him no more because he wants this. You don't go out in public and put that on unless I get it if, like, the person's harassing you. But, he wouldn't have been doing that. That man know he can go in. You know what I mean? Come on, let's keep it real. That's a good-looking guy with money on TV. Then them country girls in South Carolina, he could have them lined up 100 of them out the door all night long every night. And he did. You know what I mean? So with that said, I really don't think I don't think, I obviously don't know, I was not there. But my intuition and gut tells me that man was just playing the role. He didn't make nobody do anything they didn't want to do. And they handled it wrong if they did. Even if he did, they handled it.
Yeah, then facts. They
most certainly did.
So I think Deshaun's going to ball out. Deshaun's going to score a lot of points. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about the suspension shit. I think Cleveland's got their, I mean, if you take the whole Cleveland part out of it because of how dumb they are, they're a bad decision-making quarterback. That's what we got to label this show. This show is about the bad decision makers. Yeah. That's all that goes down. But their division is always a toss-up, you know? If Deshaun comes out and balls out and none of if their defense doesn't get hurt, and Deshaun's going to score them 17 to 21 points consistently every week. So as long as the defense can keep it close to that, Cleveland can win games. They can go to the playoffs. It remains to be seen if he can win a Super Bowl. He did show potential that, the first season, whatever, the second season, they win, 2 games into the playoffs? A game into the playoffs, at least? I think they won their first game in the second game, whatever it was.
Well, they were beating Kansas City like 20. I mean, they, Mahomes went crazy. I mean, Deshaun is showing.
I don't feel.
Yeah, he's showing what he can be.
I agree.
They're like Chicago. I know they're going to beat themselves, so I don't have to worry about them.
You know it, man.
That's true.
Well, hey, Rick, we thank you for joining us, brother. We look forward to having you on again.
Sure, for sure.
And hey, also, by the way, Rick, my first draft is going to be either Tyreek Hill or Waddle. So I'm going to make sure you don't get any of those guys.
If you get pick for me and you take Hill, I'm going to be upset with you. But I love you, dog.
But hey, folks, if you're looking to get some artwork, please check my nephew Nathaniel out. His info is on our page or what have you.
Yes, sir. Yes. And be sure to check out NISH, the producer of the outro track. It's called Trap Sex. You can find his music on YouTube and SoundCloud.
You know it. Thanks again for joining us at the lab, folks. Peace.
Peace.